Great Game Awards. There's like one day left till the show, and every single year that I do this, it feels a lot like a chore. Like, you're sitting around for 3 hours watching a live stream of 30 awards, and they pepper so many advertisements in between. But for some reason, I really respect Jeff Keighley, so for some reason I always make myself sit through these. And well, maybe my sense of honor is different. A lot of other people don't care, but that's what I do. But I thought I'd just go through the nominees and scroll through them quickly this time around before the stream, because trying to comment on something useful within 30 seconds of them rolling up and announcing the person probably doesn't work out. Like I tried that last year. Let's scroll through these and also just submit some votes, because this is like the last hour of voting, I think. Voting was available for a few weeks actually, but I'm just doing it now because, well, last minute is always great. I think every year has always had its up and downs. Like sometimes the nominations and winners are a bit suspicious looking, and I might not necessarily agree with them, but, well, this is an attempt, and it always is kind of an attempt. I'm not really sure if it always works, but it is. So first one for Game of the Year, I'm just going to vote Elden Ring, because it's Elden Ring. It's kind of amazing that they managed to actually nail the kind of Breath of the Wild formula. That's my takeaway from it, because it's also the only one that I actually played out of this. Best Game Direction, and it's like the same games as the Game of the Year, except for that one. I still don't actually know what that one is. But again, I don't know anything else other than Elden Ring, which is kind of a cop-out now that I think about it. But it is kind of strange that these, it's the same games again in Best Narrative, and it's like, I don't even really know what Immortality is. Like, is that an indie game? There's always going to be a couple I don't know. I keep track of a lot of different games, but even I'm going to run short, so just going to vote Elden Ring again. Best Art Direction. Same top 3 games again, as well as Stray, which really makes me raise an eyebrow. Like, there has to be other games for this. I would probably vote for Stray personally, because there was a lot of work put into the realism of cat movement. Best Score and Music. This is a weird one, because Metal Hellsing is here, which is, again, 4 of these have popped up several times already, which makes me raise an eyebrow. It's like, surely there are other games that can be nominated here. It really makes me think there should be a rule on how many times a game can appear across the Game Awards, because this leaves to the potential of them, say, Elden Ring winning 20 awards or something like that. But Metal Hellsinger is probably the one I would go for here, just because of its musical style. Like, audio design. I have no idea for this one, but again, what is up with these 3 being here? Again, I'm not really sure. Gran Turismo 7 I actually did not know was out, but it feels like I'm just going to do a donkey vote for any of these. I don't think it really matters that much. But Gran Turismo 7, I'm just going purely off of the reputation it has. It usually has very, very accurate vehicle research. Best Performance. This is another one where I'm raising eyebrows, because for some reason they put the game above the actor, and it's the same games as in the previous 6 categories. So I actually don't want to vote for this one. Games for Impact. I know none of these games, so I'm probably going to skip that. Best Ongoing. What about Cyberpunk? I really feel like Cyberpunk should be here, or maybe some other games that have ongoing updates, such as No Man's Sky. I don't actually remember if No Man's Sky got an award last year, but it feels like, well, over the last several years, people have been praising No Man's Sky now. The 1.5 update of Cyberpunk 2077 has changed the opinions of a lot of people. I actually wouldn't really vote for any of these. Like, if I had to donkey vote, I'd just go for Final Fantasy 14. Best Indie. I am actually going to vote for Tunic here, because this does not actually... Tunic actually did not feel like an indie game. For some reason, it did not come off like an indie game to me. Best Mobile Game. So I don't really play mobile games, unfortunately, so I am going to just skip this. Best Community Support. So this, I feel like this has a lot of crossover with Best Ongoing. I'm not really sure if this category should even exist, but this is the case why I would vote for No Man's Sky. Innovation and accessibility. So I really doubt that this deserves the award because I actually ended up, this is the one I actually did research on to see all of these 5 games, and it appears that most of the options in Last of Us Part 1 is pretty much just Part 2, and that's because this is, by and large, just in the same engine, so I really don't think that deserves it. But I ended up doing some quick research here on all 5 of these games, and it's like, as dusk falls, they have text-to-speech and speech-to-text, and it looks like the game is fully integrated with a text-to-speech system, which, big thumbs up. For God of War Ragnarok, it seems like they went very overkill with the number of options, which I think is actually a negative. Like, boasting over 60 or 50 or 100 different accessibility toggles, there is such a thing as having too much. Even though they do provide like presets here, it feels like some of these options, from just scrolling through, someone else covering it, it feels like some of these options shouldn't even be options in the first place. It should just be integrated with the sound and visual design of the game. Return to Monkey Island is interesting in that they added font text sizing and scrollback, which is actually kind of an inherent option in a lot of visual novels. Scrollback at the very least, but having large font sizes doesn't seem super remarkable to me, but that's because, well, I've studied subtitle design quite a fair bit. I don't think a lot of game developers know about subtitling standards in broadcast television, because that's been around for decades. So whenever I see that feature added, I'm kind of like, I kind of shrug at it, even though it is, an accessibility option. Like, it's not really innovative to me. For The Last of Us, like I said earlier, like, it's just for the stuff from 2, and I remember not liking it straight away when I saw this high contrast mode, because it doesn't actually contrast cover. Like, it doesn't do any high contrast outlining for cover, and I'm like, yeah, that's not a useful high contrast mode for me. So, yeah. Accessibility for The Quarry, I believe this is an adventure game of some kind, and this is mainly just lowering the difficulty for quick time events, which didn't really seem that remarkable to me. And yes, this is really the only category that I'm actually looking into deeply in this quick scroll through. And overall, I am actually going to vote for As Dusk Falls, because fully integrated text-to-speech is actually pretty impressive. Best VR/AR. This category has changed a little bit, I think, because of the addition of AR. But unfortunately, I feel like this, I'm just gonna skip through this. I haven't played a lot of VR this year. Best action game. I've played Shredder's Revenge, and I think it's a really nice throwback, especially with 6-player support. I have not been able to gather 6 players, but that's just what it is. And I'm also not really sure why Call of Duty is here in this category in the first place. I suppose this definition of action means that it fits, like having it focus primarily on combat, but I wouldn't really put that into action. Best action adventure. We're just gonna vote for Tunic again. Best roleplay. So I am immediately biased here, and I'm going to vote for Live Alive because it really deserves that. Although I have also noted several times that I really don't think Live Alive has been getting enough attention. The fact that it's here is really brings a smile to my face. But I feel like no one's going to vote for it because I don't know. It feels like the commentary kind of died away quick. Best fighting game. I really liked Multiverses, even though I haven't played much of it after it came out of beta. Best family. So family, even though it's not actually part of the definition of family, I consider family to also be multiplayer. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I don't really think there's any like super notable multiplayer of it. I kind of want to put my vote down for just Switch Sports. Best Sim/Strategy. I actually did not know Spice Wars came out. Actually, now that I think about it, is this mixing two categories again? I'm not really comfortable voting for this one as a result. Best sports/racing. I'm not really into sports. Best multiplayer. I guess you could call me biased here and say that Shredder's Revenge is the only one with local multiplayer. like everything else, it's like everyone's just online now, but no one really offers local co-op anymore. So, content creator of the year. I've never really known any of these content creators to comment on over the last few years. I do know that this guy quit and is using a copyrighted image, so I really don't think he should be hating here. Ludwig I'm probably getting my vote because he's the one person that I've been paying attention to. He's been commenting a lot on YouTube streams, and the concept of doing that rather than Twitch streams. Best debut indie. So, as I mentioned earlier with Tunic, I actually did not know this was an indie game. It didn't feel like one, it didn't feel like a debut game at all, so that's why it just gets my vote straight up. Best adaptation. Now, I have seen two of these. I've seen Cyberpunk, and I've seen the Cuphead show, and honestly, I just have to vote for Edge Runners, like, straight away. And I'm aware that a lot of people will vote for Arcane as well. Like, these are probably the top two choices. I don't think Uncharted was actually received well in the box office. Most anticipated game. So, Starfield is definitely no, but I am looking forward to 16 here. Which is weird, because you'd think I'd be looking forward to Zelda, but there just hasn't been a lot shown of it yet. Best esports per athlete. I'm just going to skip through all of these esports. I think that's all that's left, and the other part of it is because, like, these are all different games again, right? And in this case, I'm not really sure how to give out awards for esports. I'm not really sure what the solution is, but to me, it doesn't really feel like this is the right way to go about it, because, like, what kind of fan crossover is there? What kind of viewer crossover is there between these games to lump them all together into a single award? I'm not really the right person to be saying there's a right and wrong way to go about it, but it doesn't really feel right, and I believe that's kind of it. Best esports event. So, yeah, I hope that looked interesting at the very least. And, well, if you're willing to sit with me for 3 hours, bored out of your mind, really, that's not flat anymore, is it? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or not.